ye intention. Ati wali talina recognition gataba vubuka bamukola tulina mission. At sika tejira benga platform egendo kuteka artistic we kuform.
There's a few people who have leaned into collaboration, but it's still very not to the point that we could get it. And we often talk about how markets like even Kenya alone, South Africa, there are creative arts industries like the chats. What are some of the things that we might reflect on that might push us to that, basing on if collaboration is even a thing? Maybe that others.
I think the collaboration, even still, while it's there, I think we should do more of it.
Okay.
I think we should do more of it. I think, someone is doing something at the National Theatre, we should go support it. It's not necessarily, I only want to go when it's the big show, the big artist, the big. I think from the ground up we should collaborate more. Like, we should be deliberate about that. We should be intentional about that. I should be telling my friends about you and what you do and all that, and introducing them there, and not just my creative friends, but also my friends in the corporate world. I should be bringing them to your platforms and all this, and it should be the same way on this side. I think that's the one thing that is crucial. I see a lot of people saying there's this huge discussion online about Kenzo, and he doesn't share his contacts. He's not supposed to, right? That's the thing that people get twisted. I don't think he's supposed to. It's not. There's no rule. He has been on the grind for so long, and he has got there, and he's like, if that's the case, because Kenzo and I have a great relationship, and whenever I need his support, he's more than willing to come through. So but then I think more than anything, it's you just want Kenzo's contacts. What are you doing for Kenzo? Like, don't look at a person in his position and say, he's good, he doesn't need my help. And yet you could be like, hey, maybe you should do this with that song. Maybe this producer is perfect for that song. Maybe this sound engineer is good for it. Maybe this songwriter, maybe that fashion designer, maybe that photographer. We should just literally just blur the lines completely. Like, it shouldn't be photographers. Let's just become one big ball of energy. I think that's very crucial. Like, when the last time I was in Nairobi, we were there for Navio's Vibes Out the East release party. Well, release tour and everything, and but it's myself, it's Navio, it's Flex, and just being there. Yes, we're on the album, so we're going to promote the album. Just being there, they were like, no, we want the Mith here, we want Flex here. They're just open to, oh my God, we have this person here. Let's make the most of him. Let's make the most of her. Navi is in town. Let's go to this event where the release party is at this place. People are coming through, and I think that's the thing about it. It's like we should just be supporting. A tweet, a retweet, a share of a poster. I do that every day on my Instagram, on my Instagram stories. Like with all the rappers, because I do have a platform, right? With all the rappers that I know, with all the rappers that I follow, the least I could do is just share. Yeah, a double tap is cool, a comment is fly, but then I can share a link. Whatever you've posted, I share. And I was recently talking to Flex, and he was like, yeah, guys were saying, how much do they have to pay for you to do that for them? And I was like, huh? I just do this because these are the people I follow. Like, if the guy could say, who is it? And he's like, this guy, I followed him, and I'm sharing, and all of them in my comments are like, yo, thanks a lot for the support. Yo, what do you need? I'm like, nothing. This is how we support each other. This is how we build This is how we build an industry. Like, I have this platform and people are paying attention to me. You know, all I can do with this platform is bring the next guy on. And it's something that Navi and I will just constantly, we're just trying to figure out how else, what else, what else. This young kid, Dallas Plain from Kawempe, is like, yo, we met him at the Hip Hop Awards last year. And he kept saying, man, you know how I wish I could get you on a song? I said, take my number. But I can't afford you. Take my number. I've never, take my number. Takes the number. He releases an EP this year and I'm on it, and Navi is on it. And to this day, he's sending me messages like, bro, I can't believe I got you on my EP. And that's it. Like, instead of assuming that Chameleon is never going to do a song with you, just hit him up.
Yeah, but that's something I also want to come into there, because, well, it should be that way. But is someone so wrong, an upcoming artist, for example, to think that, oh man, Abo, if you want to get...
Yes, you're wrong.
Because, I mean, yes, it could be, but can we also, has that happened before, where people want...
Yes, absolutely. People work
fast.
People work differently. But then here's the thing. If you hit me up and say, hey, I would like you to post this for me, and I say, I want this much, that's me. That's not everyone. It's not a blanket thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just keep contacting. My older brother says, what's the worst that can happen? They said no. Okay. Like, literally, they said no, so. You know, we just have to, what do you want? What do you want? We have to completely break this down. Like, I want a song. I mean, I keep talking about the fire song. Like, I told Tikita, I was like, yo, can I get Bebe on this? And he's like, oh, okay, let me call him. It ended up, when Tikita heard it, he says, no, this is my song. You know, but Bebe was like, yeah, you didn't send the song. You know, like, the worst that can happen is a no. It doesn't affect the relationship. It doesn't, you know, like, I think, I don't know, man. I just feel like
fear of rejection.
Yeah, but we get rejected in other fields. You try to call and you have no airtime, and that woman is screaming at you to in her airtime. Hey, isn't it? Hey, you have no airtime. Like, god damn, woman. Like, calm down. You know, but like, I think it's we get rejected in everything. Every day, our parents say no, our families say no, our friends say no. You know, so if this is something that you're truly passionate about, and I know, like, we're sensitive about our shit, there's all that. I get it, you know, but then it's like, the worst that's going to happen is a no. I'm going to tighten it, and I'm going to, in any case, for me, when people say no to me on a collaboration, I make the best out of it. I work with someone else and, you know, create this monster of a project, and that's me giving a middle finger to that person. That's my issues. That's me. But then I think also, like, with the corporates, I have an issue with corporates, right? And I know this is going to get me in trouble. But I feel like a lot of what's there's a budget. There's a budget for marketing. There's a budget for this. You know, I feel like if it's not working, if hey, like, the idea that the Mith came up with is not it, just tell the guy no. Instead of, you know, pulling the guy along. I think it helps, right? Or help the person, because they know better what they want, right? I'm just throwing darts in the dark, like, I'm hoping it lands, right? If I come up to whatever, Nike, right, and I say, hey, I have this idea, blah 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 blah. If it doesn't work, just say it doesn't work. If it's something that could work, guide me, you know, because, like, we are dependent on on support from the corporates, and it would be good if they understood that their position, right? It would be good if they understood their position and helped. Where even if you're not going to take it, hey, present this better for the next person you're approaching.
Would you say then that because the corporates are all about their money, and
Yeah.
it's difficult to, it's not always, well, there are some people, but it's not always a guarantee that there will be someone in corporate who is just like, man, this guy is doing some great stuff.
Yeah.
And so maybe if we could just guide them. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't even, a lot of them don't even find it worthy to write why. For example, in rejection letters, for anything, for art, you submit a story and some will write back and say, this is how it didn't work.
Yeah.
And others will,
We'll just, yeah.
Yeah. So does it mean that, would it be helpful if there's an artist in corporate
Well,
that defeats?
you're saying you were talking about like Kenya, and I know like for instance, like I know Nameless is in marketing in Nairobi, and I'm sure he's what you see when you're there. What you see is because he's there and he understands, and he can talk to someone and say, hey, that idea is pretty dope, but it's just rough around the edges, just smooth it out a little bit. I know a lot of people in SA, one of them who we had here actually last year, and they're very involved in arts, right? And yes, they're in the corporate world, but then they're very involved in the arts, and they understand what it is. Like this thing, we know the stories across the board. Our position is crazy because as much as people get so much joy from it, it's so much torture on our side. Like you see, like someone said, Robin Williams committed suicide. He's such a happy guy. You know, but it's like, it's such a fight on our side. And the stories are there. There are very many. There's Whitney. There are just so many stories of these great entertainers, great creatives who, when it's presented to us, we're like, yo. But that inner fight on this side. So yes, when you say rejection, like I know it because that rejection on this side, when you think you have executed it perfectly and it fails, right? Or it's just rejected, or it's ignored.
I mean, when you say they take so much joy from it, but they're not as willing to put back into,
yeah, you know. I think it's, and I get it. They look at it like it's easy. It must be easy for you guys.
It's just,
yeah, which is true, because like if you think about it, like I said, it's your gift, right? So it's easy. I've rapped it before, and you kept saying that's an important line, where creatives create. Like that's what we do. Like a human who is alive will breathe. You know, we create. That's what we do. So to a point, it's easy, but then it's frustrating if it becomes your life, and it doesn't
reward you.
Yeah, it can crush you. It can crush you to your, you know. And I think I just wish. I see a lot of guys online, and also online is like bits and pieces. Please take it in small dosage, small amounts, because it can be tricky. But I think I see a lot of stuff where guys get. People say stuff online, and you're like, damn, man, like. Even the fans, like you value someone's opinion. You know, as a creative, you value, as an artist, you value this guy's opinion because his choice of music is what you vibe to and all that. So you value his opinion, and then the guy just goes and says some stuff, and you're just like, yo, you know, it crushes you, because like if he thinks that about music, does he think that about music completely? You know, is he pretending when he's giving me props? You know, like all these things, it's like, it's damaging to creatives. And when people say like, yo, I'm losing my fuel, it's because of those simple things. It's quite damaging. But again, I feel like, yes, we do need we do need creatives in corporate spaces, but then also we just need or we just need someone who is open to listening, and hearing the thought through. Also, we're not the best at delivering the messages. I'm not. I know this about myself. I'm not the best at actually getting a point across. Unless I'm writing it, then I have time with the words. Other times I just blurt things out and it lands how it lands, and people take it how they take it. But then, someone who is willing to listen and help, and I think my cheat code is I have my brother and my sister, my brothers and my sisters who understand.
Ground you?
Well, they ground me a lot, but then they also understand both worlds. So they when I have this thing that's disturbing me and I don't know how to get it across, it's, hey, why don't you? And then the extended family, which is Navia's family, and even just our friends, just in general, they're willing to help. And you're passionate about this. Okay, let's see through. Let's see this thought through completely. And but I feel like again, like if we're talking about how best we can get this up, if the president feels that way, that's how he feels. He's only going to come up when it's yo, you want another rap, and it gets people excited and all that type of stuff. So if he feels that way, that's how he feels. If the people around him feel that way, that's how they feel. What are we doing for ourselves? Right? And I think that's the most important part of this discussion is
collaborate, reciprocate.
Yeah. Like what are you doing? Like you're complaining about government, but then that's their stance on it. So what can you do?